Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 133rd ever episode of the Next Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Pokekel.
And joining us today for the very first time is our guest, friend of the show, Michael Davis.
Hello.
What's up, Davis?
Hello.
Hi. How are you
I'm
guys?
killing it. Thanks for coming. What brings you to our fair show today?
I got done early. I came over and you asked me if I wanted to be on it.
Heck yeah, bro. So if you guys don't know who, if you guys don't know who Davis is, he's been a friend of the show for a long time. I do a bunch of stuff with him outside of Pokemans. We're on Scared Game Squad together. We're on a Star Wars podcast that you guys should go listen to immediately, together with Jesse Cox. In both cases, Davis has a pretty sizable channel of his own with his squad, the Warp Zone.
We do video game nerd sketch comedy. Check us out.
But more importantly, Davis is obsessed with the Game Boy, and so we're gonna have him here as
It's the best console ever.
yeah. We were just talking about how Pokemon and Zelda are bouncing back and forth as your favorite video game franchise of all time. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
But before we get into anything having to do with Davis personally, how was your guys' Pokemon week?
Ooh. What?
Yeah,
I just
same.
you seemed
actually.
really hype about it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, nothing really important happened Pokemon week wise, except for that, like, in 2 days, literally, I designed a birthday party around going to the Santa Monica Pier to play Pokemon Go. So
Dang.
tricking my whole family into taking me out to dinner so that I can play Pokemon Go the whole time.
Yo, I'm back in it in a big way. It feels good.
Yeah, it's good. You finally go out on the walks with me when I go catch Pokemon, and we're a family again.
Oh my god,
We're a
it brought
family
us
again.
together.
Anyway, though, it's been pretty tight. I haven't done anything like super Pokemon related. I don't know. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't think.
Weren't you
so.
playing Pokemon like the other day?
Yeah.
Didn't you do a bunch of like playing and catching?
Yeah, no, I signed up for the global mission so that I could get my 4,000 free festival coins, which
Totally
you
didn't
should
do
do that. And if you haven't, just do it.
That's how you, honestly, by the way, that's how you level your Pokemon. Like, the grind to level 100 is rough, but every time you level up, you
Rare Kitchen.
get like a new chance to get a good stand, and you can like trade stands with people and stuff. So that's how you do it. And then you just spend what are they called? Festival coins to like.
Why did they make it so hard to get to level 100 in this one?
It's not if you do the global missions.
Before you just did the Elite Four and then you had a whole team of 100.
or Blissey bases.
No, like that's still how you do it, but the Blissey bases are gone. The restaurant is gone. Like it's just
Elite
it's
Four
still,
is
like,
still there.
Now it's festivals,
Like, Elite
but you
doesn't
could still keep running through the Elite Four. But even in the first game, like running through the Elite Four doesn't do a lot for you.
Elite Four is
when you're like
much
level
better.
80. It's
Talking
like
about Gen
hard.
1?
Yeah,
But like the game has come so far since then.
well, yeah, of course.
Elite Four is actually the best it's ever been, though, in terms of like grinding it, because you don't have to sit through the credits every time.
Oh,
Oh, that's nice.
you beat it finally, right?
Yeah.
We can talk. How you fight? You're the champion.
I know,
You
it's
defend
great.
that was like what I want to talk about forever. But you're like, we're playing through it. Don't spoil it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, we
defending
love
your
Sunny.
title
we
is
beat
so
it a while
chill.
back. The thing that I like is that afterwards you just get spit out right in front of it again, and you can just jump right back in.
yeah.
And also, like, some of the people that challenge you are very interesting people. Like, who is that dude?
There was like a dragon guy.
yeah,
who
the
was
dragon
like a rocker?
guy who's like he wears like red leather. He's the guy that I'm like, who is that? Who are you?
I haven't seen that guy.
You get like weird closure on some characters that you met earlier. Like,
The first
oh,
youngster that
perfect.
you meet like comes to challenge you.
oh,
It's great.
Cool.
that's so cute.
Yeah.
Random side note off of like who's that? I
Who
love
dat?
that there's just one of the Elite Four is like, hi, you've never met me before. I play golf.
Kahili. Yeah,
Kahili
they only referenced her. They
hinted
referenced
at-
her in the demo.
Yeah, hinted
Yeah.
at in the demo only. Very bizarre.
Really cool.
Do you
I
know,
guess they like gave her a little backstory though.
Do you know what my favorite part of her is?
Kahili, the whole package, because
The-
she's great.
That she golfs and her type is flying type, because all of the golfing terms for your score are
birdie.
birds. Birdie,
Yeah.
eagle,
Oh.
all that.
That's great.
Wait,
I like that her golf club is a toucan and like head.
I didn't know that. I didn't see it.
Look it up.
Look it up.
Davis is just like staring into the distance.
I just
like,
didn't. I'm like, I didn't even realize all these things. But yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of our
great.
thing that we
I was
like
hoping she was champion.
open these doors for people. That's our whole MO. By the way, I forgot to mention, if this is your first time watching, listening, whatever you're doing, welcome. This is the official Pokemon podcast of the Dex on YouTube. We're here. We're awesome. check us out. Go if you've never watched us on YouTube before, go check us out.
Yeah, we do a lot of things.
I have been battling in the the ladder.
Yep.
The championship series ladder thing.
Mm-hmm.
I realize now so much more brutally the lesson that like I kind of learned last year about Pokemon that sort of like made me accept VGC in the first place, which is that like innovation is like the romantic sort of victory that you want to get with Pokemon, right? Like you want to like have that strat that like blows people's minds and like it's a very attractive prospect, right?
Right.
And there's still plenty
you want to throw off the disguise and like it was me all along.
and they're like, no, and then you're like the champion, yeah, and you win worlds in Anaheim.
Yeah.
That's the dream, right? Like that's like what that's
Absolutely.
like how you want battling to feel, right?
Yeah.
And I've been trying some anti-meta strats that are like kind of weird. Like I have a Jolteon and an Espeon on my team, but I don't lose every time. And at first I felt guilty about having Tapus on my team and having Kartana on my team. But like you really just have to operate within the meta of the season and like try your best to win no matter what that means.
Right.
Like put your pride on the side. Like that's why I'm getting beaten sometimes. It's just because like my Pokemon aren't good enough. And I tell myself
Alex's
like,
heart grew 3 sizes.
what?
I'm just. It's cool to see how far you've come.
This is like the example of this is like in Mulan, in the training
Yeah.
montage in Mulan,
Yeah.
where like she's like failing at doing all the things like the way that is intended, and then like
Tricks.
uses like that trick to get on top of the pole by wrapping the thing around it. Like
She's like, ha.
that's like what you want to feel like, but like the actual way that's better is just to like learn how to do it properly.
Just
Yeah.
to get good core strength and be able to pull yourself up.
Right, yeah.
But that's
that
really-
would help her in the long run.
That's really my feeling right now is like, as much as I want to win with the best Pokemon in the meta, like for me right now, my journey is about learning how people think. And I think that for me, like having a weird team kind of like helps me have to learn that more. You know, like I have like Trick Room on my Espeon because Espeon's faster than most of the Trick Room setters. And it like makes people very mad. Like they rage quit sometimes because I will Trick Room and then they know that they're going to Trick Room and they have to watch themselves
undo Trick Room.
undo their own strategy. Yeah. And it like makes them mad and stuff like that.
That's pretty like neat. I like that.
Yeah. And I use Synchronoise with my Jolteon because it does like it two hit KOs like almost anything under psychic field, psychic terrain. It like Tapu Koko, Xurkitree, like they get bodied by it and they're like common in the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like because of that, because I'm like I have to like use very specific things to like take out specific Pokemon, like I'm really learning how to like look at someone's team and think about like how are they going to use this team right now? And like my record is not great, but I'm going to start streaming it soon, so I'm like very excited. And also we're going to do our show with Brett.
Yeah.
Victory Road, which is going to be starting like really dang soon now that we're like moving forward with all our projects. It's pretty crazy, you guys. Like
I want everyone to just hear that theme song for Victory Road already.
Dude,
I know.
Boozin', what is he? What
Josiah
is
McDaniel.
Josiah McDaniel is his official like how he wants to be known to the world now.
Like I think he's actually changing it because I guess his real like surname or his real like last name is Everhart.
Oh my God, his name is
tight.
Josiah Everhart.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't know if I should change my branding again. And literally everyone was like, Everhart is the most badass last name.
Yeah.
Change it. You'll sound like a
I
Viking.
imagine you holding a guitar when your last name is Everhart.
Exactly.
You either have a sword or a guitar.
It could be a sword tar.
Yeah,
Or a get sword.
A sword
Get
tar.
sword.
I'm not good
I like
with words.
sword tar.
but you
That's a
understand
Gen
what I'm
8.
going
That's a
with.
Gen 8 Pokemon
Sword
exclusive.
guitar.
Sword tar. It's like a sitar, but
Tar.
Yeah.
sword.
Sitar sword.
It's not like a sitar really at all. But
It's a grass fire type that gets spicier as it evolves.
Yeah, long tangent aside, Josiah McDaniel, go check out his music and video game
That guy's
covers.
tight.
He's great. Look at his lyric video for Chrono Trigger. Forgot which one. Made me cry. I've never played Chrono Trigger.
Oh man, the one with words.
Yes.
Yeah, he
He
did
has-
a great Mother one too.
I think it's Home from Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
he just
Anyway,
any song that he does is dope.
magical.
But yeah, that's mostly been my Pokemon journey this week. has just been like that, and like I'm doing a lot of like behind the scenes work for a bunch of new stuff that's in the works on the decks. It's crazy. It seems like we're doing nothing because I've been talking about it for so long, but it's insane because like the amount of work is so large, but like so many things are going to pop out.
It's like Mousetrap, the game. It takes like a lot to set up, but it's going to be really fun and cool for when you get to see it working.
I really hope
that
you
is a
guys,
perfect simile.
yeah, I hope you guys are ready because
Well,
man,
if it does end up being cool.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, Davis is unsure.
I believe that it will be, but you shouldn't count your Pokemon eggs before you've walked 1,000 kilometers. Okay, all right,
1,000
Got there.
kilometers.
Is that how much you have to walk?
I don't know.
How much is a
1,000
kilometer?
kilometers?
I'm
kilometer's
American,
like-
so I don't do that
Dude,
system.
a
It's like-
kilometer is like roughly half a mile,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
okay, so it's
About.
like from here to San Francisco.
Yeah,
So are you saying that
That's
you
so
would
far.
walk 500
You're right, I
miles?
would.
100? No.
I'd fly.
and then another
It's
500
probably
miles to
100
fall
kilometers down to like Orange County.
down. Da, 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 da.
I don't know distance.
What is distance?
Yeah, it's just an illusion.
This went off
We
the
could
rails.
be so far, or we could be so close.
to Orange
After
County.
all, you're
Orange County
listening
from
to
here,
this,
it's about 40 miles.
which is like 80 to 90 kilometers, so it's
Yes.
close.
Welcome
more
to
you
the
know.
Dex podcast. Sometimes we
But
talk
who knows
about
where you
Pokemon.
are? But if we could be sitting in the same room, you and I, listening out there in Radio World.
And speaking of things that you listen to on the radio, let's jump into the news.
Welcome to the news, darlings.
Yeah,
Good segue.
dude, radio,
You did it.
news radio.
Radio.
You guys heard about that?
What?
News
What?
radio. It's going to be huge in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
It was going to be huge.
It was going to be huge right before the 90s started when... All right. Hey, it's a light news week this week, as you may have guessed from the content of this podcast thus far. But we have a couple... the things that we do have to talk about are meaty.
Astronomical.
They're talk worthy.
They're meaty, and then we got a big... we're going to big transition into our discussion today, and I think we'll all have a very independent sort of viewpoint on this one. It could get exciting. But let's jump in. In merchandise, PokemonCenter.com, the ever-improving Pokemon merch website that
Sometimes.
I don't probably look at it as much as you guys do, but I really like looked up and I was like, damn, they have some good
They're
stuff.
stepping
on
up.
there.
They're
They do.
If there was like a line graph of how they're doing, like the trend is up.
They have
know?
like a Ditto Magnemite, right?
Yeah.
gotta
Oh,
get
it's
that.
so cute.
But
Man.
what they have right now is that they've recently stocked all their Evil Team Pikachus in their U.S. online store. These Pikachu plushies each wear the costume of the Evil Team. So he wears the Team Rocket outfit that's like with the like little chapeau, like the little like beret hat with the black jumpsuit and the belt and the white shoes. And there's also the like Team Magma like hoodie outfit
Yeah.
where his ears are like inside the hoodie. And then the like sailor bandana Team Aqua outfit and the Spaceman
They're
Team
so
Galactic
cute.
outfit. And the what's the Team Plasma is also like the hoodie.
Team Plasma, yeah. And their
But the
hoods
best
and-
one of all,
The Team Flare
the best
Pikachu?
one of all is Team Flare. Like,
Does he have sunglasses?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
has
do
red
yourself a
sunglasses
favor.
and the bright red
Yes.
suit.
do yourself a favor and look up Team Flare Pikachu plush because oh my god, his glasses are solid orange. Number one, number two, he looks smug as hell, and number three, he looks like a fat like Super Nintendo boss mobster in a business suit.
How much are these?
They're like $14.99 or something. They're not that bad.
They're not that big though either. They're
yeah,
not.
they're like
they're
a 7
small.
inch or something.
Yeah.
So if you had a girlfriend that was way into Pikachu, you'd buy them all for her.
Oh yeah, they would be a grand little set.
Oh my god, he's so just like
Yeah, he's so cute.
he's like
such
a
cute
CIA
little thing.
agent that just tased somebody. Like that level of smugness.
Yeah.
Whoa, did you?
But red.
I'm just looking at it now. Did you see these snowboarder Pikachus?
What? Wait, no. Show me that.
Snowboard Pikachus. What are we talking about here?
Those are
Oh, those are
weird.
so cute.
One of them kind of looks like Naruto.
That is
What?
too funny.
A snowboarding
That-
Pikachu that looks like
That's a
Naruto.
great read. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
He's got
hell
the
are
yellow
you-
spiky ears coming out the top, and he has a big orange jacket
jumpsuit with like a
Where are you seeing
with a
this?
headband.
Did I just go to the plush page?
PokemonCenter.com / go to the plush section.
Oh
Plush.
my god, these guys are cutie boys. Paired Pikachu celebrations.
It's live news.
Also, can we talk about this Eevee?
Which Eevee?
The egg-shaped cushion?
Looks so
It's
dumb.
Weird.
What are they?
That is-
They're like
they're so
couch
weird.
pillows.
They're like eggs.
Yeah, they're
Also-
so weird.
Little cushion eggs.
They-
Those are ones I'm like,
Did we already talk about the fact that they released a substantial line of Ditto Pokemon?
Oh yeah. There's Magnemite Ditto. There's a bunch of little Dittos in there. You gotta get them.
There's also married.
There's so little like.
There's also
Magnemite
married
merch
Pikachu
in the
plush.
world that
And that
I
one
gotta.
is so
boy,
cute.
isn't he?
Magneton is my number one.
It's that. I think that's the cutest one of all the Ditto ones they released. The Magnemite one.
I agree, but I will admit that I'm tremendously like subjective
As
in this.
not biased to Magnemite and Magneton, that one definitely is the cutest one.
Like this little merch nerding out session over
I know
here.
we love merch. We love it.
It's scary, man. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, how are we just gonna keep buying it forever? How much are we gonna have? That's the question. We already are buying like bookshelves on bookshelves to fill with merch that already exists and doesn't have a place.
You know what I just realized?
What,
You never asked me how my Pokemon week went.
Jimmy?
You never asked me either.
How was your Pokemon week?
I popped open Pokemon Go on the couch right here during the intro
This
of the
week?
podcast just
Today?
to have something
Right now?
to talk about, and you didn't ask me about it.
How was it?
I caught a Geodude.
Me too. I caught that same Geodude.
Dude, nice.
Geodude.
I caught
All right.
no such dude.
You can go back to news.
Actually, no. You know what, Davis? How was your Pokemon week?
There was a little bit of movement this week.
Okay.
As some of the people in this room know, maxed out. I like completed my Alolan Pokedex a while ago.
Nice.
Great,
And I was like,
congrats.
great. I'm gonna put a pin in this until this is the first game where I'm like, I might start getting my feet a little wet in the like competitive scene.
Yes.
I've been waiting for Alex to start his video series that he's promised me for years coming.
I will literally give you a real life educational series where we sit down and just play Pokemon.
Great. Let's do it. And so we talked because you mentioned the whole global missions thing.
Yeah.
And I had only heard about the first one that happened, and it was apparently like
It was way too
a failure
ambitious.
because they like because you had to catch Pokemon, but the way you had to do it was like no one understood it.
Yeah. People
But-
like weren't ready for it yet.
But now you're saying they've like streamlined
They
it.
always get like bodied like within hours
The
of being
past
announced.
3 have reached their goal in the first couple hours.
Like that's perfect because when I finish games, I need a reason to come back. I just can't. I get like too antsy. I have to like go do other things if I don't have like a good reason to come back, and that's like just enough that I'm like, cool, I'm in for a weekend.
You know, there's
You know
a
what
you know
you do?
there's a like novelty like competition every month too that requires you to like train a little team up or whatever.
What do you mean novelty?
Like it's always like different rules, like special. Like there was a Alolan X Kanto competition this month where you like it was a singles battle where you bring 6 and you pick 3 and it's like Alolan or Kanto decks only, and like that's what you could log in and like compete in that for like a weekend.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and this month it's you can win championship points from it. It's just the basic VGC rules, and you can build up a team. I did it probably in total. Took me to go from no team at all to finish team, maybe 10 hours, maybe a little bit more than that if you include the training. But that was only because I had 2 Tapus and an Ultra Beast who had to be to level 100 to hyper train. Like other than that, it's pretty easy to breed, especially like if you got somebody like me to help you who now has a bunch of high IV Pokemon.
Ooh.
Pokemon.
I had a little burp because I had some coffee.
Now, all you gotta do though, just go register your game to the global link. That's very, very simple. You can then like from that hub track like everything, and then all you gotta do is jump into your festival plaza and sign up for the event that we already won that's open until the 10th to sign up for.
Yeah, there's still
And
so
you
much
will
time.
like already start with 4,000 points.
There's still like days to do it.
Yeah.
Like get in there. Like what are you doing?
Oh, also, most importantly, I rearranged my top of my shelf where I put all my Pokemon stuff. So I have like Gen 1 and 2, the Game Boy cartridges on the rose-colored gaming things, and then I got all those figures from the cards that we opened. They like fan out.
It looks good. I've seen this display myself.
I got the Pokemon typing game up there too. I got all this. It's looking good.
Have you ever
That's
played
tight.
that?
No, it's still like new in box. I'm gonna get around to it at some point.
I would love to play that. I'm wondering if it's fun. I have
Let's
a stream.
play?
What? Yeah, I have a streaming DS. Like we can capture off of it.
Okay.
There's also on the website a pseudo Easter collection in the form of 1 shirt, a set of 4 pins, and 2 egg cushions that are shaped like eggs. They're like couch cushions that are Pikachu and Eevee. I talked about this for a second already.
They're weird.
It looks kind of funny. It might be pretty low quality. They kind of just like popped it out to like be like, oh, Easter. But I think the Eevee pillows could look funny in like a sort of like not conventional application. But like,
God, these Pikachus are too
if you
cute.
look at, it's funny because there's also the pins that have egg Piplup and egg Chansey also.
Yeah, the egg Chansey's
these?
pretty cute.
Yeah, those.
They're
not
funny
cool.
looking. I think they probably are funny. Like I'm okay with it. Like I don't imagine a situation where I would ever wear this shirt, but like I would buy this Eevee and this Pikachu if I had like a themed Pokemon couch somewhere in my house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't.
Or if you had that, is there like a giant, was it Snorlax or some kind of like
Beanbag
couch
chair.
thing you could do? Maybe
Yeah.
for that? I don't know.
I want. A
Doesn't
giant
Octo have
Snorlax
one?
beanbag chair. Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. In the next
Octopimp is
room.
in our office. He's in the office like right over there actually. And
But I still want it to be bigger.
yeah, that's how I feel. What was
Like
it?
they made a Snorlax beanbag chair, and
it's
it wasn't
Think Geek.
6'1", which
Yeah.
I think they need to make.
It's like for a kid. It's like a little bit too small.
Fix this.
It needs. Well, if they're gonna make a Snorlax beanbag chair,
Life
it might as well be.
size.
It might as well be life size.
Masuda, fix this.
Matsuda, you suck. Fix it.
Fix this. How could you do this?
I felt really bad after saying that. That tasted very bad in my
It's
mouth.
weird. That's jokes, people.
It should feel bad anytime anyone says that. But if we are talking about bad merch that you can skip, do not skip the Guardians Rising TCG expansion, which is coming out May 5th. It has a ton of new cards. It has like 140. The Tapus are there, and you can pre-order the boxes on PokemonCenter.com. They look cool. They're yellow. There's like a Tapu Koko thing going on. Check it out. I'm hyped for this set. They look really cool.
More
The
rainbow cards, please.
Yeah, I really liked the Steam Siege set. I think that was the last one that I was like super into. I'm excited for a new one. I'm excited to like build a new deck soon. I would like to like have another casual deck to play with. Also, if you ever see me around at a convention, I usually have my game or my cards on me. So if you ever want to throw down, come at me. Or are you too scared?
Is that a challenge?
Is that a challenge? Be careful not to choke on your ambitions. Hashtag Rogue One. Hashtag I bought it and watched it last night. Hashtag
Hey.
watch the special features. They're pretty good.
There are people that don't like that movie, and I'm like,
Why?
I
Why?
don't understand. It's really good.
It's like almost like you have to duel with them, right? Speaking of duels, Pokemon Duel continues to update with more special
What a
duels.
segue.
Right now, the Fire
does
Cup
it?
duel is on, which gives Fire and Ground type Pokemon various advantages. And the Fire Cup goes until April 12th. They still got a couple days on that. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Pokemon Duel, you still playing that?
Me? Yeah. I played a match during this podcast already.
Did you play it, Davis?
What is Pokemon Duel?
Ah,
It's pretty neat.
it's like a strategic sort of like board game, cell phone game.
You know, like Clash Royale.
Oh, it's not gonna happen for me.
It's okay. It's not the greatest game in the world, but it's like a little like
It's a little bit more like structured than Clash Royale is.
it's like a board game, but you build a team of like 6 pieces to use, and there's like a lot of little rules. It's very fun. Like I enjoy the
It
mechanics.
feels like you're playing like fast mode chess or something. Like,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of random chance involved. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, like Pokemon can like fight each other, and they have like a wheel of their attacks that spins, and you can like level them up to expand certain sections of the wheel.
Like good Pokemon have like powerful attacks that are big on the wheel.
Yeah.
That
I may
makes-
try, but it just sounds like not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
it's
I-
like kind of hypocritical that a person whose favorite console is a portable, like, hates cell phone games.
It's
I
super-
find them
it's
to be
super fun,
generally
but it's
pretty
like-
casual,
It's complex.
and especially like if I even like whiff just like microtransactions, I'm like,
But Pokemon's pretty good about microtransactions in general. Pokemon usually limits the
I'm
Pokemon.
assuming this is like glossy and shiny and beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just showed Davis some of the rainbow cards.
What
from
is what's the rainbow? What does that mean?
They're just like
From the TCG.
They're just like ultra rares.
They're just like,
They're
Pretty.
just like, hey,
You
you,
want a
want this
tighter version of
beautiful,
this?
cool
yeah,
card?
They're just
Yeah.
pretty.
oh, that's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
How many are there?
I think there's like 19 of them out or something.
Yeah, there's a
want all
hefty
of them.
number. The Dragonite one is the hype one.
I just showed him the Umbreon one.
Oh man, that's like probably my favorite one.
It's
secretly.
very pretty.
Okay. We have one more piece of news. It's a light news week, like I said, but it's a pretty meaty piece of news. So we're gonna just like get into it. It's all about Pokemon Go. First of all, some stats. During the Water Festival, a total of 589 million Magikarp were caught by players. That's over 500 million. Allegedly, shiny Magikarp can still be found out in the wild, though now that the festival is over, Magikarp are going to be as rare as they usually are.
That translates to what, like 3.5 Gyarados?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, but the thing is,
About.
if you get a shiny Magikarp, you get a shiny Gyarados.
Oh, you get a red Gyarados?
Yeah. So get hype. Except for you, Davis, because you have really
I'll
bad
just go
luck.
back to Lake Rage and catch mine.
You'll just like
I'm old
you'll just
school.
like upgrade your Magikarp and get like a CP10 shiny Gyarados. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I feel so sorry that you had to like go through misfortune to.
You talking about my Nidoking?
Yeah.
This was like back when it was still like.
I think we might have told this story on the podcast. But
This was
back when
this
it
was
dropped.
like day 2 or 3 of the game being
we were
out.
like on the pier stripping, took that like newsworthy picture of people
rushing to get the
the Wartortle.
And I was like super pumped because like I basically have a thing for every single Gen 1 Pokemon, and like Nidoking's like dope, and I was so
love Nidoking.
excited to evolve mine, and I had like it was like a 300 or 400 CP Nidorino, and I thought was a lot for the time because who knew what was good.
I mean, this was so early. Just to be clear, like it was so early.
It was like day 2. I think it was day 2.
Yeah. So like keep in mind the glitches were there.
And I evolved it, and it lost CP, and it was like it went down to like 116 or something. You saw me fall to the floor. Like I couldn't understand why. When like Jesus was like, God, why have you forsaken me? Same thing. He and I are going through the same thing. I couldn't understand. I should have known then that was like a sign to get out. But no, it was heartbreaking. And I named him like, can I swear on the podcast?
Yeah,
I named him like shitbag or something like that. And I always kept him as a reminder that life's not fair.
That's good.
Sorry, Alex.
What?
Sorry, Alex.
I'm leaving it in. You said yes. I'm leaving it in.
I know I did. I shouldn't have said
No, we definitely don't, but it's all right.
Oh,
I don't know why I just said yes.
Yeah, she knee-jerk
sorry.
answered, and I was like, all right.
I won't
Can't
swear
stop
anymore.
this now.
No, it's all good. Don't even trip.
You should censor it out with...
I'll just do like a TV, like, monkey fighting instead of mother effort. Like, I'll just do fun little side.
Yeah.
Like a
things.
TNT.
on this Monday to Friday plane.
Yeah,
Censor it out with the sound of Ash saying Reggie Ice.
Wow, Reggie. Wow.
Have we not shown you that?
No, but I believe it.
Worth
That's
it.
dumb.
You'll know it. You'll know it soon.
Worth a glance.
I'll look it up on my phone so I can show it to you after the podcast.
Worth a glance. TBH.
So what's next on our news docket?
Okay, so we're still in Pokemon Go zone.
Oh,
So,
okay.
rumors abound that an Easter springtime event is going to begin within the next few days. So if
Chansey
you're-
related, probably.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Just,
the Chansey was kind of like in the Valentine's because it was pink.
yeah, it's going to be probably egg related if I had to guess.
Yeah, probably.
wonder if we'll get, like, colorful-
What?
What?
Hatch times.
Double
hatch time.
hatch
half
speed.
Half
hatch times.
hatch
Double
times?
hatch speed. There, that's much
Hatch-
easier to say.
And a lot of
Half
candy.
hatch
I could see
is
like a
really
lot of
hard.
candy being part of it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying.
Candy, Easter candy, Easter eggs, eggs and candy.
Yeah, I mean,
Is
it'll-
candy a thing on Easter?
Yeah, what,
yeah.
come on,
Easter
an
candy.
Easter basket with candy?
Oh, eggs.
You're right.
Give me a break, bro.
I
Eggs.
stopped, of all of like the holidays, my family stopped celebrating Easter like that a long time ago. So now it's just like we get together and hang out.
yeah.
Have dinner. Yeah.
But we used to like dip the eggs and then
Yeah.
When you said
I love
dip just
dipping
now,
eggs.
I was imagining like dip like tobacco, and I was like, that's a really weird.
just
Tradition.
You just
Yeah.
pack an egg,
Ew,
like,
dude.
like a little quail egg or something right in there.
That's weird and gross.
just get a quail egg and put it under your lip.
Quail eggs are small, right?
Yeah.
Let me make sure I got that right. Okay, sorry.
They're the
That
small
is-
spotted
that
ones,
is
if I remember
hilarious.
correctly.
It's our state bird.
Anyway, Easter thing for Pokemon Go could potentially be like a Easter egg hunt where you have to like go to certain nearby Pokestops
Oh
that
my
have like
gosh.
special eggs.
Rare eggs, yeah.
Have they brought back any kind of location-based things?
Yeah, so when you track Pokemon now on the tracker thing that is in the corner, you tap it and their silhouette shows up near it, like associated with a specific Pokestop around you. So you go to the Pokestop and then you get that Pokemon there.
Okay.
Sometimes it doesn't work exactly right, but like
It
the
shows like
vast
the
major-
closest thing that that Pokemon is to. So like, oh, this location that's a fountain has, what Nidoran next to it. So
Yeah.
around that you will find Nidoran.
So if you see one that's like a silhouette, you're like, ooh, and then you go get it. Pretty fun
pretty
stuff.
nice.
Yeah. Much easier to go like get the Pokemon you need.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if you're listening to this podcast and it's out, hey, this is the Dex podcast where we put out a podcast and then news happens that morning. So
Oh, yeah.
get hype.
You mean when they reveal exactly what the Easter thing is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
It'll probably be revealed by the time this podcast is out, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah. I hope it's
tell us.
exactly what we said. I hope
Don't
it's
tell
I hope
us.
it's an
We're
Easter
probably
egg.
not.
hunt.
Hashtag don't tell me.
Actually, don't don't tell us at all.
Hashtag don't you tell
I
me.
hope it's a
capital you and me.
multicolored Easter egg hunt. That's my wish with half hatch times.
Quick, aside to the audience, Kels did not mean tell us any Pokemon news that exists. We already know.
Yeah.
By the time you've told us, we've already heard.
Let us know what you think.
Like 3 times I've linked things to like the two of you, and like obviously you had known it and seen it long before I did. So now I don't do that anymore.
It's part of my
That's like
morning.
that
It's
Pikachu,
part of my
that kitten
morning
that's,
routine.
Like,
At
photoshopped
like
as Pikachu.
7 a.m. I do this every day. I like get up and I'm like, what's new in Pokemon?
Yeah.
I think I did it in person to Alex, and you just gave me that like double the blink where it's like
When you asked if
you're right, dumb question. Didn't even
like,
ask it.
It was like that day when you asked the people at the toy store whether they had any more Turbomans in. Okay. But
Yeah.
more on Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go, king of social experiments, has a couple interesting tidbits and stories this week. First one comes from Japan, where a report said that since the release of Pokemon Go, there is a natural landmark called Tojimbo that is a like sort of like hotspot for suicides. This is not the haunted ghost forest at the base of Mount Fuji that everybody knows about. This is just a kilometer-long stretch of rocky cliffs along the Sea of Japan. They're an ideal suicide spot for people who want to commit suicide. It's a pretty crazy thing. The rate of suicides
Yeah,
at
it
that
got
cliff,
like a bad reputation. 'cause of
last
this.
few years, more than one per month.
Jeez.
Okay?
Like, so yeah, that sucks.
Over the last few years. But when Pokemon Go was released, they made Pokestops and rare Pokemon there pretty much all the time. And
they didn't even make it. They were just there. Like the stops were there, and rare Pokemon
so
happened
this was
to spawn there.
pure
So it was
chance
pure
based on the fact that it's like
Yeah.
a coastal zone, which
Well,
seems to be a hot
Yeah,
spot.
I mean it's a
And-
natural landmark. So
I mean,
Yeah.
it's built off of Ingress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like all Pokestop generation stuff is based off of where
Ingress.
players in Ingress have like
put them,
Like,
put the
got,
stuff.
like,
Yeah, because wasn't
got
it basically
heavy
like
traffic.
player source
Pretty much. Yeah.
locations?
Yeah,
and
you
stuff?
like draw zones in Ingress and like based on traveled areas.
Were people pretty upset about this?
No.
Well, so look, so check it out. So because it's so popular, the influx of traffic has dropped the suicide rate dramatically. Not a single suicide has happened there for 5 months.
Wow.
That is awesome.
That's cool, right? Like I mean,
Everyone likes the
It's
bad
really
stories, but that's
interesting.
like a good feel-good story.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's that's insane. But that's a positive story. On the other side of the coin, in the U.S., a pretty large class action lawsuit is being filed by various homeowners who have issues with their houses having become Pokestops. The issue is being labeled virtual trespassing, which is crazy because it's like pretty.
That's like never a thing that's been.
Yeah, it's pretty
that's happened
unprecedented
before.
issue. Homeowners claim that they should be allowed to remove anything virtual in nature that is placed on their property. This comes after a few homeowners have seen an uprise of traffic, noise, and shady characters hanging around parks and homes since the release of the game. Niantic claims that a virtual Pokestop where virtual items are obtained cannot be owned by a person that owns the physical property location, and that virtual space is not owned.
That's wow. This is like
well,
huge.
Yeah.
Also,
it's
isn't that
it's really
space-
interesting.
Yeah.
Generally, like public, like you can walk
Yeah.
on the sidewalks in the streets.
I
Like,
mean,
Yeah.
but that's what they're saying is like, we don't want this increased traffic in front of our, like, even the other day, we went to a place that we call the Crazy House, right?
Yeah. There's like this really cool house that has like a really like crazy architecture, and it happens to be a Pokestop, but like it's definitely like smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood. So like when me and a couple people from the office were walking over
People
there,
were
it was just
definitely
like
peeking out windows. and
four
whatnot.
or five adults like walking through a neighborhood. People were like definitely like
They're like
wonder
kind
who
of
these
creeping
guys
a
are.
little bit. Yeah.
So like I get where the frustrations lie, but then at the same time, like it is. The reason I put it in the news is because it's such a vague gray area. Because like, does
here's
the
why-
person have the right to have to? It's
here's
such
why
a
I
weird
think
thing.
here's why I think that they're going to win this case is because they clearly state at the beginning of like every play session almost that no one should ever trespass or break any law in order to obtain Pokemon, regardless of where a Pokestop is, and that
Yeah.
it's the player's responsibility to follow that condition, not Niantic.
that's true.
Yeah.
It
Like-
is the person's
Like,
fault.
for example, at the Sony Studios, I believe it's the Sony Studios, there is a gym or a Pokestop. I remember
It's a
this.
gym, yeah.
Yeah, that like was it has really low Pokemon inside of it because it's on the lot.
The
Oh, the
Sony
one
lights, yeah, it's
by-
inaccessible
right
to
by
the
that-
general public.
with
It
the
just like
rainbow.
taunts you because you're like, I could smoke that gym.
Yeah, exactly. Because only like 2 people can have
Caught a Charizard
routinely
over
play.
Yeah,
Nice.
Ran across the street at night.
you got in.
No, like not in it, but like to the gate is where it spawned.
I see.
500. Terrible.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed.
But you didn't break any laws, right? You just were being a weirdo.
Well, he ran across the street,
jaywalking.
jaywalking.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a different story.
But like Sony wouldn't be mad at you for that.
No, because
You
I'm
wouldn't-
on the
you
sidewalk.
wouldn't-
You don't own the side,
Yeah.
right? That's like
You don't
part
own
of.
the
you wouldn't
sidewalk.
sue
Yeah.
Pokemon Go for getting a jaywalking ticket.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's my own.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what they're arguing is the entire situation at hand here. Is like that feeling of like, well, it's my fault. I was the one who was being shady while I was playing this. This is a similar thing that happened when geocaching first like became a thing. If you guys know what that is, I was a big fan of this for a long time before I slaughtered every geocache in like a 10-mile radius of my house, and it became like pretty annoying to play.
Could you say that you cached them all?
Man,
I thought you went somewhere
or,
different with
like,
that, but I
cashed-
like where you
like
went
you
with
cashed
it.
out. That was,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
That's where I thought he was going.
you guys are all
terrible. It was like,
That's
yours.
I-
but-
no, that is a better one.
None
to
of
be
them
honest.
are good. None of them are amazing. None of them are like, ooh, nice.
See, the reason that mine flopped
Sure.
was because saying in my head it was like gotta catch 'em all, gotta cash 'em all. That's very funny.
I
And
get
then
it.
when I changed it to you,
It
it
changed.
turned to
yeah.
caught them all.
Caught-
And I'm like, this is
caught-
a different.
Gosh,
This is a different thing. My
geocache.
joke is ruined because
It's all
I
right.
didn't take in the variable.
It's all right. It's all right. But that's it for the news. Real quick, just like we're gonna stay on almost the same topic, but let's jump into the discussment. Yeah.
You sounded you sounded like
What?
the guy that.
What did I sound like?
The what's the Iron Chef? The guy that like.
Beef.
Yeah, that guy.
Dude.
Beef. The secret
Dexcast
ingredient guy.
homework. Dexcast homework. Do yourself a favor. Go onto the YouTube
Yep.
and type Iron Chef food reveal supercut. I think that's what it's
or,
called.
Oh, it's so
or
funny.
ingredient compilation.
It's the chairman supercut.
Iron Chef America specifically.
Yeah. You got to watch the Iron Chef America one because he says all of them in English. It is incredible.
It's very good.
It is.
Great
It will
video.
make you smile on
Like-
the worst day of your life.
Like the original version, also very good. The new version it's more goofy
Because it's so intense.
right.
Um.
Did you know that guy was in the Double Dragon movie?
Really?
Yeah, he's like a stuntman, right? That's like his thing.
Something
Is
like
that real?
Yeah,
That's so funny.
He's an actor.
he's Jimmy in the Double Dragon.
I think he was also in this.
He's
season
like
of
one of the
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
dragons.
Yeah, he's
Oh
a
my
main
God.
character.
Yeah, that
I
guy's an
learned-
actor.
I learned this because this just happened to come up about Iron Chef America the other night, and Glenn from the Yeti was like, "Did you know?"
How weird.
So
What is
that's
that?
the
What is
thing.
that when exposure effect or something like that? I don't know. When suddenly everyone starts talking about the thing that you just learned about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happened to me. This morning. I like saw a name of a person on Twitter that got retweeted, and then I was listening to a podcast, and somebody mentioned them, and I was like, "What?
Like,
What?"
That's like I bought my car and then like
Conspiracy.
everybody had my car all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
I remember that.
Crazy.
Anyways,
Okay, but we're in the discussment now. Here we go. Pokemon Go, present day. In our post Pokemon Go society now, it is a fact of life, Pokemon Go now. How do we think that Pokemon Go ultimately affected the way that the population interacts with the world and the game? Let's go through some key discussion points real quick, and
Sure.
then we'll go.
sure.
Here's some examples that we just looked at. You know, this virtual trespassing, this suicide cliff renovation thing. Pokemon Go undeniably has changed the culture of how we interact with places and things because of technology. This virtual trespassing lawsuit is probably going to be looked back on.
It's like the first.
As some sort
it is
of-
the
This will
first
be
of its
like,
kind.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go
It'll
like
set the precedent.
I don't think it's going to like go to the Supreme Court or something crazy like that. But
But it's like a weird thing that we're gonna have to start deciding now.
Yeah,
it's-
exactly.
It's another Wild West that that is moving towards not being so wild.
yeah, good thing that internet rights are like so
solid.
yeah,
So black and white.
so good.
Real
Also,
good.
the
That's a
game.
joke.
The game. Let's talk about the popularity of Pokemon Go. Also,
Okay.
myths about the game sinking versus its actual stats. 5 million active daily players. That's more than Angry Birds, Candy Crush, and Clash Royale. Longer play sessions than average games. The average play session of Pokemon Go is about 26 minutes. The average in general is 10 minutes.
For games, mobile games.
For cell phone games. $2 million in daily revenue. It's better than Candy Crush, Clash Royale, and Angry Birds.
Those are just the three I compared it
can
to,
you
but like those are pretty big.
Imagine $2 million a day.
I wouldn't know what to do after 2 days.
After just 4 million?
Yeah, like there's not enough things that I could ever do in my life.
Davis's look on his face was like, "Can you not dream bigger?"
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't want to dream
I think there's
bigger.
like a car that probably costs more than that.
Yeah.
At some point,
Like an Aston Martin or something.
at some point, you like go to the dark side when you have money, right? Like,
Well,
I mean, if you're
like,
uncreative.
if I made $2 million every day, that like at some point there's too much money there.
If I made $2 million every day, some days you'd make $2 million. I'd be like, Alex,
This is your
Yeah,
$2 million.
I want to hang out with you. Whatever you're doing, I bet you $2 million can make you forget it for a day.
You're right. You know what? You're 100%
You're gonna be like,
right.
no, this thing that I'm doing now is that important.
I'd be like 2 days, I'm done.
I could probably get you for like a couple days with that.
dude,
All right, it's a deal.
if
Well, could I borrow you for a couple days for $2
Yeah,
million?
you know what? I'll buy you dinner too.
Davis, if someone,
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
if you were like, "Hey, hang out with me,"
Grand Max?
Yeah,
if you're like, "Hey, hang out with me," just forget about the thing you're doing for a day. I'll give you $2 million. I'd be like, "It's forgotten about. It
I
never
would
existed.
fly,
It's retconned."
I would be in the middle of a Japanese international vacation, fly to America to hang out with you for a day, and go back to Japan for $2 million.
Here's it might be a deal breaker for you.
Okay.
You also on this day have to at one point in public proclaim Final Fantasy VIII, pretty good game.
I
do
would
right
be
now.
I could
How
do
about
that.
doing that.
If
I could
you-
do that with
I
no
will do that,
shame at
no
all.
problem.
I've never played it.
I will tell anything. I will say any. I will sell
Then
out.
on the day
completely.
that we're hanging out,
Yeah.
we're playing that game.
Cool.
Hell yeah, dude! Check out Michael Barrety playing that game 2-player mode, which I don't think is a thing.
It's not.
Maybe it is. I don't know. In Charlie's Angels, the movie.
That's
Oh yeah,
Trivia.
that's hilarious.
Trivia.
what a weird thing.
When she falls into the backyard. And,
That's Michael Barrety?
Yeah.
I remember that scene.
yeah. All right.
And I know Michael Barrety.
All right.
Yeah, dude, he's the Fancers guy. Get your mind
Oh,
blown.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does
all right.
the last stinger of our podcast.
Yeah.
Remember him? This is him now. Do you feel old?
So
mate?
here's the point. Essentially, it's this. Those worried about Pokemon Go's growth or lack thereof are failing to realize they don't need to grow right now. This is like the classic MMO sort of thing where you explode at first. Look at Destiny, look at World of Warcraft. You explode onto the scene first, and then you sort of like fall into the groove of like your actual committed audience. Because
Wow. Grew. That's a bad example because they like grew
Just look at it,
grew
just
huge
take-
over years. And
yeah,
then,
but take a step back and look at it now. Like it's the same trend. You just like blow up. I mean, now technology. It's a cell
that
phone
game had like
There's a lot more.
6 years of growth.
Well, there's a
and
lot
then
more
it
to
started
WoW.
cool.
There's a lot more to WoW than most MMOs that we're
Right.
talking about here. But like the point is, it gets popular, and like I don't think anybody's worried about WoW right now. They're not like, WoW's losing money. There's no way. It's still got to be making
no, they are on a definite downtrend.
Downtrend.
Right now.
for sure, but like they're chilling.
They're like numbers even at their lowest blow every other MMO out of the
yeah.
water by like
King of
3 or
MMOs by
4
far.
That's
Yeah.
exactly how it is with Pokemon Go comparative to other.
That's what I mean. It's the same
online,
situation,
on
just
mobile games.
macro, micro. You know
People
what I
were
mean?
like, it lost 2 million subscribers. Oh darn, it only has 10 million. Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a bunch of articles that came out this
Other
week that
Reggie
was
eyes.
like
yeah.
that was like 4 out
okay.
of 5 people have stopped playing Pokemon Go,
probably
but
know.
like that it just like casually forgets the statistics that even so it's still the biggest mobile game right now, still making the most money of any mobile game and has the most players. So like it's Pokemon Go's not just sinking because
They're making
some fan base
$2 million a day. They don't need to appeal to any new players for like as long as they're making $200,000 a day, they're good. They're
That's
solid.
still a very lot of.
You know how many
money.
people work there?
70
Oh, I thought it was 40.
70 people.
40 at launch.
Yeah.
That explains the slow changes.
At the
Yeah,
first 2 days.
exactly. It does.
The first 2
I'm
days.
calling for you, Pokemon
The
Go.
first 2 days when the traffic surpassed their worst case scenario by 50 times, there were 2 people who were the server technicians at the entire company. They had
One of
no-
them probably
They
slowed
they
themselves.
slept in shifts. They
Yeah.
had no idea that the game was going to be anywhere near. They were like, here's what it's probably going to be. Here's 5 times that. We got it covered. It was 50 times that. Insane. But also, like, let's look to the future of Pokemon Go. How do we think it's going to affect laws, regulations, future mobile gaming? What if there's a much more active game that uses technology like this? You know what I mean? Like, what if there's something where you
Dude, as soon as AR and stuff, because like imagine Pokemon Go and it was good and it had like AR some kind of
Or
component.
imagine you're playing like a laser tag MMO. Imagine like you just like have an AR glasses on.
Well, I'm saying as soon as, because right now you can just be near it, like you don't have to, but as soon as a Charizard's hiding behind somebody's fence, you're gonna see a huge that's gonna be a real problem. But
it's right there.
I mean,
I could just hop in, hop out, break the law, but nobody cares.
I think the main issues that people weren't prepared for with Pokemon Go were, number one, people who are obsessed with games are going to trespass and break the law, and people are not going to be okay with that. Like, yeah, that's one big thing that I think we have to address going forward.
That's not like the thing that frustrates me about that is that that's not a thing that is exclusive at all to mobile games. Like,
right.
Look at freaking beer, for example.
Yeah.
Right? Most people who drink beer just drink the beer, they get drunk, then they wake up the next morning, they feel kind of crappy, and it was a great time. Their inhibitions went down. They bonded with the people that they drank with.
or they made a huge mistake.
Whatever. But also, some people who drink get so drunk that they crash into people with their cars, or they hit their significant other. And that's not something that the beer company needs to be like. I mean, at one point it was, they had to defend themselves against that Molly, what's her name, woman who
with the hammer.
She went into bars and just broke everything inside the bar and was like, "This is the prohibition, get out," and that happened for a while. But we all realized, you know what, we gotta kind of both take responsibility for this. We're just making a drink, and the laws are in place for you to use this properly. And on every bottle, it tells you don't drink to excess. Drink responsibly. If you screw the pooch on that, whatever. The same thing, even something innocuous, a chainsaw, something you're using to cut down trees. You could cut your kid's leg off on accident, but that's oh
my God.
As long as the company gives you adequate safety laws, it's not really the company's fault if you drank a beer while you were using the chainsaw.
It is absolutely not Craftsman's fault if somebody drops the chainsaw.
Exactly.
On their foot.
And I think it has more to do with the fact that those things are now just accepted parts of our society that we've gotten used to now as something that we trust ourselves to use and all know how to use. Like a car, come on.
Yeah.
It's worldwide news when somebody drives a car into a crowd of people, because it doesn't happen that often, because it's a crazy thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think...
So let's take away all the cars.
Dude, I'm in. I would love that. Replace them all with robots. Let's go. But all I'm saying is, I think it has to do more with the fact that it's a new thing. Oh man, video games are making our kids shoot people. Oh man,
it's weird it's weird now that with Pokemon Go and Ingress as well, how that gaming and the real world thing, it's starting to kind of merge a little bit. And while it's a really exciting prospect, it's come up with a lot of new things in our world that we have to think about, and things that maybe we hadn't really talked about addressing before, the safety of, putting a Pokestop at a busy intersection where people are looking down at their phones and not actually paying attention to what they're doing, and that kind of stuff. And none of that is inherently the fault of the company for putting it there, but it's more of a we have to figure out as a society how to adapt to those new situations that we've not dealt with before.
Precisely.
My stance on it, and it might be a little more hardline, is you dingus, you're at an intersection. Obviously, you're playing a video game that doesn't change the laws of this country or reality.
Yeah.
You don't get a pass. Just pay attention, because that's what you should do anyways. Mm-hmm. And I don't think the company should be at fault even a little bit. It should be not at all it's nice that they put, hey, just a reminder, you can't trespass, but you shouldn't even have to do that, because duh. To me, this is how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you totally, but then I know that there are people that just don't give a shit about those rules and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm on a different podcast.
There's so many rules.
I know. Look what I introduced. But so much of life is morally gray area, and everyone likes to be black or white. This is an issue where I'm no, it's black or white. There's no circumstance. I don't care if it was a pincer you wanted to get. I don't care.
There's
you can't
nothing
go
worth
there.
It. There's nothing
or
worth it.
That's an intersection. Don't walk out in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious. It seems obvious, but then when you get hurt, the last thing you want to do is blame yourself.
I mean,
right? Exactly.
Dude, yeah. That's the big thing, is nobody ever wants to
take the responsibility.
The parents didn't raise their kids poorly. It was the video games that made them do whatever they did.
Right.
I mean, I will absolutely say I've done stupid things when playing Pokemon Go, but
or something not super legal as a child.
Yeah, it was definitely not Niantic who told me to drink a bunch of Bloody Marys and then go Pokemon going around my neighborhood at 3 a.m. on like day 2.
Yak in the street?
No.
Oh my god!
I just
a
like
bunch
met a
of
group
Bloody
of
Marys
like 6
is,
other dudes in the shady neighborhood playing Pokemon Go and like hung out with them for an hour.
That's what you
and
do.
That was a really irresponsible thing
That's
to do.
what you
but
do
that's
in
not
Orange
Niantic's
County,
fault.
though. You know what I mean? Like that's the nightlife.
Is it?
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I was trying to
Like if I was near like Harbor Boulevard or something, but
right.
like off the beaten path in like a neighborhood.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's weird to see like drunk dudes like playing with their phones and screaming in the middle of the night. I get why people are
Against
uneasy
it?
about it, but like that's not illegal actually. I mean, it's illegal to walk around drunk at night, but like
Right.
walking around making noise at night when you're an adult and you're not like disturbing the peace. You're just like talking to each other.
Yeah,
as
if you're
walk-
talking at like a normal level, doing nothing in like
You are free
outside,
to walk around.
you are
at
free to
night.
do that.
There's
Here's
no
the thing,
like
there
curfew.
is a law against disturbing the peace. There is a law against trespassing, and I think that's it. I think we're all on the same page here, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Just follow the same laws you
Obey the
follow when
laws.
you're not playing Pokemon Go,
Right.
and you'll be fine.
Exactly.
Obey the laws and just like be mindful of the people that you're around
Don't
or like
play
the place
Pokemon
that you're
Go.
around.
Don't
you
play
know?
Pokemon Go while you're driving.
Yeah, if a cop pulled me over for jaywalking to get Charizard, I'd have been like,
Yep,
dude,
you're right.
You're
That's
right.
fair.
There was a crosswalk, but I got that I didn't do it.
What
so
if your
I will
what
accept
if,
that.
What if your wife released your Pokemon and you got so mad that you murdered her? Would you blame? Would
Niantic?
people be like, yeah,
I feel
Niantic?
like this question really only applies to me, and I feel
feel like-
weirdly singled out by it.
I just mean in general. Like I could see like those news stories that are like,
Oh,
my
yeah.
wife deleted my character in WoW, so I shot her to death. Like it's crazy. But
Yeah.
it's also not Blizzard's fault. That's you being a dummy, a dumb.
That's you probably needing
Crazy.
very
Yeah,
much
you need
mental
some-
help.
you need
Yeah,
some
you're
help
being
there.
like a bad boy. That's
That
not
happened.
good.
Oh
Terrible
man,
term
that
for
happened
that.
all the time though, because they were like, "Oh, that Korean guy played WoW. Like he played it so much he died. Oh my gosh, can you believe it?" Or like the family that let their baby die, unfortunately, because they
Oh.
were so into, which is sad and it's tragic, but it's absolutely not the
fault
game
of the
maker's
game.
fault. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
they weren't
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we left out the code that made you not a neglectful killer of
irresponsible.
your child."
Yeah, I mean,
Ah,
yeah,
man.
there's a huge difference there.
Niantic is the Harambe of internet law? Question
What?
mark? Just kidding.
Oh,
Moving on.
wow, geez.
I thought you were
Hate-
reading like an article title, and I was
that.
like, no,
I was just
no.
trying to get you guys all to focus on me so that I can move into the next segment, which is the Fencer segment.
Fancers, da 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 da. Fancers, da 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 da.
Great.
There he is, Michael
Yeah.
Barrety.
That was him. Charlie's
Shout outs.
Angels alumni. 2002.
We should have him on again so he can record Fancers too.
so long ago.
Yeah. Oh my
Fancers
gosh.
too.
Just have him sing it live.
Haven't
I was not
seen
even
it.
on that podcast.
Yeah,
I
that's
need
true.
to be on a
You-
podcast with Barety.
Yeah.
Aside from the other ones that I've done.
Oh, you weren't
that,
there for Fancers?
that are there.
Guys, check him out on the Sorting Hat podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
he and
there's
Katie
a little
Lee
plug.
now.
Sort just
Anything and everything into Hogwarts houses. I've been
Yeah.
a guest on 2 of those episodes. Go look at them.
they are a funny pair. Great to hear them.
You said funny pear, and I imagine that like weird image of like the pear with like the human mouth
Oh
on
my
it.
god.
Like, laugh.
That's like a cursed image. All right. This is the part. If you've never been to this part of the show before, Davis, new guest, right? New on the show.
Look, long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah, but you're like the avatar for people who've never been here before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The POV character.
Yeah, that's you. You're like Link.
This is crazy, right? Hellboy.
Oh my god, he's looking into the camera right now. Did you say Hellboy?
Yeah.
He's here.
All right.
He lives in our studio.
Yeah, Hellboy's in the corner. He doesn't ever say anything.
I don't know why, like, because they like definitely there's in the
Yeah.
first Hellboy they added a character to be that for the
yeah,
movie.
I'm with you
Sorry,
100%.
that's-
He's not in the second film.
He's not in any of the comics.
He moved to New York City. Question
No, they
mark.
put him in the
Oh, that's
in the
right.
cold. They're
That's
like
right.
he liked the cold. I don't know.
Hilarious jokes. All right.
What?
Hellboy has an everyman character who was added to like
The
smooth
movie.
over how weird the cast is of that movie.
Ah,
This one's called The Healthy Meta of Gen 7, and it's from Sky.
oh, you didn't explain.
It's an email.
Answers.
We're gonna
You guys
read
just
some
talked about
emails.
Hellboy.
We're gonna read some emails from the fans.
You never.
We're gonna read some emails from the fans. Last week we talked about, what did we talk about? Getting banned for cheating in Pokemon Sun and Moon.
So Fancers is
What?
when. Fancers is when we answer emails about last week's discussion topic
section.
Oh,
this
cool.
week.
But also,
That's
like,
smart.
what mega Pokemon you want to see or anything that you want to talk about, really. Because I choose them.
Mega Magneton.
I choose them
Mega
completely.
Magneton.
I choose them
Just a cluster.
completely. I choose them
Yeah.
completely randomly, except for length.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, write about whatever when you write it in. But if you want to write in, and this is where these all got sent, this is the email address that I'm reading the inbox for. It's thedexcast@gmail.com. Everybody asks me this to this day. Here's what it is.
It's amazing.
THEXCAST@gmail.com. I say this in every podcast at least twice, and it's also on the screen if you're watching this on YouTube. It's literally, it takes up like a large portion of the screen on the bottom. There it is. You see it underneath the cassette player that's playing the reel-to-reel thing. It's right underneath it. It's on a bar by itself. That's how you do it. Here it comes. The Healthy Meta of Gen 7 from Sky. Hey, DexCast, and maybe guest. Probably not. Joke's on you. Sky here.
Yeah, God.
Sky here, and I quickly want to say that I bred for a perfect Picky Peck last week, and it's been working really well, including good synergy with my Emolga. As of right now, I just started breeding for a Comfy. What I've been doing is breeding lots of Pokemon and seeing how good they work. I currently have 22 competitive-ready Pokemon, and I'm working on Kartana and Comfy.
Nice, Guy.
Also, your Toucanon strat works great, so thank you. However, the main purpose about this email is how healthy the meta for this gen is. Seriously, earlier I said I'm using an Emolga. And it's working perfectly. I did use one back in Gen 6, but back then I just played on Showdown due to lack of interest in just fighting with primal Pokemon. I would also like to mention I have also made a good Probopass set, Shiinotic set, Melodic. Of course, Melodic is good, but whatever. And it's really refreshing to be able to use legendaries without spending 100 hours or hacking to get perfect ones. And on the topic of legendaries, I currently don't have any on my team. I'm working on a Kartana, technically not a legend, ? And I have yet to nature my Tapus and UBs in my Moon copy yet because I caught them in Sun. But anyway, I've probably been rambling for too long now, and I have to ask the question about what you think of this healthy meta, and maybe also some weird Pokemon you've thought about using. Anyway, thanks for your time. You're probably not reading this, but gotcha again. But in the less than a shiny chance you are, thank you. It's not less than a shiny chance.
It's greater than a shiny chance.
Yeah, I definitely don't get like thousands of emails, but I do get like
10.
100.
Tens.
It's like
Tens.
40
10 of
chain.
emails.
Multiple
Shiny
tens.
Yeah. Sincerely, Sky. Now for the hashtag. Hashtag, sorry for the long looking email. Wasn't long. Hashtag, actually, it doesn't look that long. Good.
Hey.
Hashtag, you guys are the best. Great.
Thanks.
Hashtag, I'm running out of hashtag ideas. This is only halfway through their hashtags. Hashtags, I'm going to write the rest normal. Hashtag, Breloom for Pokemon, because there were spaces now in between the words in the hashtag. Hashtag, seriously, why wasn't Breloom in Pokemon? Hashtag, do you remember this hashtag, Alex? Hashtag, Flyman. Hashtag, you probably don't. I don't.
Jeez.
P.S. Also, your quick thoughts on Breloom in Pokemon. Bring him in. I love Breloom. He's one of my top faves.
In Pokemon?
He wasn't in Sun and Moon,
Oh, okay.
but you
I
can
thought
just
you
get
thought
him.
you just said in Pokemon.
That's
I'm
what-
like,
that's what the email
he
says.
came
I'm
from
supportive
Pokemon.
of Breloom as a Pokemon.
He is a Pokemon.
I would like Breloom to be native to the next region. How about that?
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. PPS. Also, yes or no? Have you done a Nuzlocke?
I started one.
I've done a Nuzlocke.
I did a Heart Gold Nuzlocke like on my private time.
Yeah, I got to Azalea Town and Soul Silver.
Shout outs to
Nuzlocke is that special rule set.
Yeah,
Where
where
if
stuff
you-
dies.
if you faint,
if it
you
faints.
have to release it.
I haven't done a Nuzlocke, but I did with some of my other buddies when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out. We did a one bug Pokemon playthrough.
Great.
I took Scyther, and then like Pinsir and Heracross, and I beat the entire game with just one Scyther and then Caesar.
Nice.
Just like
Hell yeah.
Camerupt was the
Rough.
arch nemesis of Caesar.
Yeah.
And it's really not fun to have the lamest Pokemon be like your
No,
Lex
he's got a
Luthor,
Mega,
your
bro.
Joker.
He's got a Mega, bro.
But it's like kind of like a Nuzlocke run because that's all I had.
Yeah.
yeah, it makes it fun.
Nuzlocks are heartbreaking. Usually people end up kind of like half cheating by like not actually releasing them and just like putting them in the like,
box.
heaven box
Yeah.
so that you still have them after you're done. But there's a lot of different kinds of Nuzlocks. I had a great time with mine. Shout outs to Sobek the Feraligator, who was part of my run
Sobek.
through. You have
Can I
to
ask
name all
what
your
the-
you have
the
to name
name
all your
means?
Pokemon, which I never do.
Nuzlocke?
Yeah.
It was actually originated from a comic.
Yeah,
right?
it was like
Yeah,
a
it was-
story.
It was a
an illustrated
Nuzleaf, and it literally comes from the Pokemon Nuzleaf and
die?
John Locke.
John Locke from Lost.
And I don't know what happened even in that.
It was, I
in the
believe
birth of the Nuzlocke.
The Nuzleaf was named John Locke, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And the guy just like it's if I recall, it's actually like fairly long comic, and a guy just like
It's an urban legend.
I read it as it was coming out, and it's funny and sweet and sad and great.
it's just like this guy gave himself this rule set and then like wrote comics about like what happened in each of his sessions, and then Pokemon YouTube was like, we need to
love
make
this.
10 million of these. So there's Nuzlocks, Wonderlocks, Egglocks,
Wedlocks.
Wedlocks.
Yeah, there's so many different ways of like playing through the game, like in a weird way.
In a weird way. Bug
I did a randomizer. That was so much fun.
Oh, randomizers. Are
My
neat.
starter was Porygon.
You flash the randomizer into the ROM, and like every Pokemon encounter is randomized with like any Pokemon possible.
When you fight Pokemon, is it also randomized like trainers?
When you get Pokemon, when you get Pokemon given to you, your starters, all the legendaries, everything.
Yeah.
When you can you trade the people who are like, oh, I want to trade my Onyx for your whatever, and then you just don't get what they say you're gonna get?
Yeah.
That often happens.
Oh man.
It's pretty fun.
Those are fun.
What did you do that on Pokemon White?
No, I did that on Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh yeah,
Ooh, that's a
And
good
then
one.
I started one on Pokemon White, but I never finished that. I didn't get very far.
that would be a fun Let's Play, or maybe just a stream. I don't know about a Let's Play.
Randomizer.
Yeah, maybe like VODs.
VODs.
VODs. Thanks for that email.
Wait.
Yeah,
We didn't even answer the question. Healthy
Yeah,
meta.
We are tangenting so
Dude,
hard.
we
today.
are just we got a good pace.
It's because I keep asking questions about
good
things
pacing.
that
It's good
everybody
pacing.
else probably listening.
I mean,
knows.
we addressed this a little bit earlier.
You're the everyman.
Yeah. Can't
You're
find
held
a
up,
better
remember?
man.
I love video games. I love Pokemon. I'm not good at like getting involved in scenes. They're very like insular, like very
You do
like
it- you
me
do it for you.
experiences.
Yeah.
I'll look up sometimes where to catch stuff, but I'm not like good at participating in the conversation. I'm just like, this is my story, and I'm gonna like hunker down and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Laugh and cry.
Totally,
I think the meta's
totally
healthy.
there.
We talked about this earlier a little bit when I was talking about playing VGC. I'm just loving like how loose it is, like how you can get some wins off people. I mean, there's definitely like guys that you should probably be using, but it's a very broad amount, and like there's new ones sort of like floating in there all the time. Strats are like useful, and it's not like last season where the buff boys were like a little bit too overpowered. It's like pretty solid. Like all of them have like pretty grave weaknesses. Feels great. Like Muck is like my nemesis. I love it. I love the meta right now, and I'm sure you guys agree with me.
From a casual perspective, it seems very interesting because like watching stuff last season, it was all the primals and other stuff, and
Seeing Butterfree in the top cut, or like Mimikyu, or like Eevee in the top cut, is like so silly to me. I love it.
It seems like it's like watching Melee versus like Smash 4. You just see like new, at least from what I've seen, like new stuff that wouldn't be there before, and it's like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Especially in a game that's not active. Like Melee, at least like, say what you will about Melee, but like it's still fun to watch somebody play it because it's like an active game and it requires like physical skill to be good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But like with Pokemon, like you can't like the meta can't like stagnate like that because it's literally going to be the same matches over and over and over again.
Well, and like Pokemon, well, in all games, Pokemon to me is like, I think someone even says it in one of the other games where it's like, it's not about how strong the Pokemon is, it's about like taking the one you love.
That's Whitney.
Like that's like how I feel about
That's
Pokemon.
Karen.
And I don't think every Pokemon's probably viable, but like it seems like based on some of the weird choices I've seen, I'm like, if you're like ride or die a Pokemon, you could like maybe make it work.
Yeah, and they're trying so hard to make that more of a possibility too. They like
It's
rebalancing
there.
so many of the stats to like try to get some Pokemon that haven't been used before need
Hariyama's
like
in there.
a second.
Like it's crazy.
How like S tier is Magneton? Like super S tier?
I don't even know if you can
Tick
actually
tock.
get one.
You'd
Can
have
you?
to
Oh,
put the
you can.
zone on. You'd have to get the zone on there.
Yeah, Magneton
Yeah,
is
most
better
people
than
go Magnezone, but
Lots of people do Magnezone.
Eviolite Magneton was a thing for a while.
Yeah,
wasn't
you know,
it?
you could do Eviolite.
I bet you could actually put it onto your team and get wins. Like not like one win every 100 matches. Like
Sync it with Tapu
All right,
Koko.
tonight we're making me.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
because
Yeah, do a Tapu Koko team.
Magnezone isn't that much higher of base stats than Magneton.
Magneton's
It
pretty fast,
it
too,
like
huh?
switches its speed and defenses, right? Is like the
something like
trade-off.
that. Yeah.
Like I think Magnezone gets faster, but Magneton is more defensive.
Yeah.
If I recall.
Magnezone is great under Trick Room too. Like that's. Anyway, we're getting off into the weeds. That was a great email. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Next one is from
special
Dark
attack,
Trainer
super
Josh,
high.
and it's called Pokemon: A System Seller. Hey Dexcast, greeting from the UK. On show number 131, that was 2 ago, Alex said he would be interested to know how people without a Switch console would feel if a new Pokemon title were to come out for it. As a person that has held off on getting a Switch right away, partly because of the launch lineup and partly to make sure I don't goof off when I should be doing assignments, I thought I would drop in my opinion. I have always loved Nintendo games, but never really got into the Legend of Zelda series. I know, hashtag fake fan. But after seeing Breath of the Wild in all its glory, I feel like I need to play that game. You would be right. You would be right.
It's
but like
really
I said,
good.
I'm still holding off on the Switch for now, but fully intend to get it down the line. However, if there was a new Pokemon title announced for the Switch, I know I'd run out and get one right away. Pokemon is my favorite game series by far, and for me is 100% a system seller. Personally, I would be most hyped for a Pokemon Stars or a Pokemon Sun 2, Moon 2 type deal. But even a spin-off title would be enough to push me to buy a Switch. Pokemon Snap 2, anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just want to share my view. I love your guys' show and listen to it every week, driving to and from university.
Nice.
Keep being awesome, Dark Trainer Josh. Hashtag sorry for the long email. Hashtag Team Mystic. Hashtag wishing Midnight Lycanroc was also Dark type. Hashtag later, man. Josh, this email technically was 4 paragraphs, but it was so short that you don't even have to think about it. That's great. I mean, like, I feel like the reason I asked that was because I felt like there was a lot of like animosity about like that idea of like a new Pokemon game being on the Switch and people being like, they're forcing us to buy their new thing to play their new game. And I'm like, yeah, that's called capitalism. Like that's business. Like video games are pure luxury. Like the new game's going to come out on the new thing. That's how I feel. You know what I mean?
And the 3DS has been out for 6 years now.
It's longer.
It's like one of my favorite consoles in a long time, but it's okay to. It's 6 years. That's a good.
Look,
It's a
a good
really
amount
good
of time.
life. That's a good lifespan.
I'll just say it for every YouTuber. I am excited for a era where I can talk about all of the new Nintendo games coming out and not have to work around this like weird 2 screens footage to put in my videos.
Dude,
yeah,
HDMI,
yeah.
dude. Let's
You
go.
don't have to like send somebody your 3DS and hope they don't bust it up to
Right.
make it
Steal
like
it.
capturable.
like
Take $250 and steal it.
like I can just capture the footage and scale the frame size, and that S is 1080p. Well, no, 900p, right?
Yeah.
Something.
Are you playing it in tablet form or?
I don't.
It's still simpler.
It's 16 by 9.
Nobody's capturing it in tablet form. That's crazy. Right? Nobody's doing that, right?
I don't know.
How do you do that? You have to mod
USB-C.
USB-C. All right. Thank you for that email, Josh.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
He was just like, this is how I feel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure we didn't miss.
Do you remember? What'd you guys say? Like, were you talking about the stars? Would you guys want to see like a stars on the Switch?
I was saying
I think like
don't.
the next one's probably going to be, but
I would
probably not
feel
soon.
weird if they split Sun and Moon across 2 systems, unless it
Yeah.
was just like on both and 100% compatible.
My feel is, I think we're gonna get Diamond and Pearl remakes
On the Switch.
soonish on the Switch.
I'm 100% into that.
Or
With the
Pokemon Snap
Sun and
2.
Moon engine?
Probably a better engine than that.
probably a.
Oh,
but,
you're right.
like,
If it's on the Switch,
yeah, built from
maybe
the
like
ground
the
up.
next gen Pokemon, like a little preview of that engine.
Yeah.
I would love to see. I would love to
Or
see
Pokemon Snap 2.
some good graphics.
Davis, have you seen those high res Pokemon like
Videos?
models? Yeah.
All
Like
you have to do is
people-
When
go
they
in-
made a video of people like emulating Sun and Moon and putting it in, like high resolution.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I will play through Stars. If they re-release it,
Yeah.
I'll make my own little Nuzlocke version of it, and I'm like, I will gladly play through that. It looks so good.
Yeah.
stream that on twitch.tv/thegameboy. That's
Yeah.
not a real. That's not a real.
the
Twitch.
Game Boy.
But
Right
it
now
should
it's
be.
right now it's
It's
Team
someone's.
Davis, Team Davis Twitch because
Team
Team Davis
Davis
already
Twitch?
taken.
Is
I've
that
streamed twice on there. Once at your guys' place, we
Yeah.
opened up Pokemon packs.
was
It
That's
fun.
true. That was fun.
Expensive
Anyway.
but fun.
Thank you for that email. This next one's from Chris. It's called Alex is Back. Alex and Kelly and Jimmy and Pup Boy Wallace, who is grown into a man named Davis.
Wallace is not here.
Yeah, Wallace actually couldn't make it today because he's not allowed inside of IKEA. I'm so glad to hear you can play Pokemon Go again. I was starting to feel legitimately guilty that I could play and you couldn't, but now you can. Awesome. That's all I wanted to say. Hashtag sorry for the hashtag about email length. Hashtag sorry for the email of relative length. Chris. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Hell yeah.
You don't have to be sorry.
I'm so excited that it's back. I'm so excited that he's back into the Pokemon Go because now I can be like, hey, now next time a Skarmory pops up at 3 a.m, I'll be like, Alex, this one's for you, but it will be
Bring
for
the
me.
car around.
I couldn't go last time, but now that you can come with me, now we can go out at 3 a.m. and get the Skarmory.
Let's do it. Let's get mugged. All right.
Has having just one other person makes it good. Does the podcast know about Jared Rosen?
I'm sure that most people in the world do.
'Cause
Yeah.
he does a lot of stuff. Well, he used to live next to me. We would go on Pokemon Go walks every night,
Yeah.
and then he moved away. And I
He moved
I'm
like
a scaredy
quarter of a mile away.
Yeah, but he lived right next door, and so we
Right,
just
right,
walked,
right.
and we had like a bunch of Pokestops and like 3 gyms. I am too scared to walk alone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unlike Green Day or whoever sang that song.
Road.
See, I would love to play more if I had that sort of situation of like
If you come over to my place, I'll play with you. We'll walk around.
Yeah, that's the
Walk
thing. Is
around
like I
all the
play
time.
when I like go somewhere.
When you Pokemon Go somewhere.
Nah.
But I like closest Pokestop to me, like a good 1,000, 2,000 feet away. It's like the entire opposite side of like my apartment complex,
Okay, yeah.
and it's at an intersection, and like it's just
You're
a
like,
single stop.
Not worth
Like
it.
I will probably see more Pokemon than I get Pokeballs on the way to that stop. So I'm like a net loss every day. So I just play until I run out, and then I don't play ever.
I feel it. I gotta swipe an item today, so I don't miss my 7 chain.
Get that eye swipe, bro.
Ooh, is today the day?
Yeah, today's the day. I gotta go get an item box before midnight.
Yeah,
Don't
if
worry.
you haven't been up to date with Pokemon Go, Davis, they have like 7-day streaks you can get on now for catching a Pokemon or hitting a Pokestop.
And
you get
every 7th day you get an
evolution
evolution
items.
item.
These are all cute little things to make you think you need to play a game that just lacks a really good, solid foundation. Every
That's
game
fair.
does this. You get rewards to come back. Why don't you just make the game worth playing? Days
fair.
1 and 2 of Pokemon Go are some of the greatest gaming days of my life. The dream was so real.
It was like
I
month
hunted
1 and
stuff
2.
in the park, like even though it was busted, the location way where you like, I don't even know if it was real, where you like hit yourself
like you
and like
triangulate?
triangulated. So,
I don't even know if it was real. That's pretty amazing. No, that's real.
my life altered in a huge way.
It did.
My lifestyle changed for this game, and then it just
I feel you.
pooped out.
I
and then
feel you. I
Whatever.
feel you. All right. Thank you for that email. That was a really short email for a long response we got there for you. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for the long response. Hashtag.
Sorry for the long email. All right.
Hashtag hope is always.
Heck yeah. This email is from I'm gonna go with Jan.
Jan.
That's how I'm gonna choose to pronounce this.
How is it spelled?
Jan, but fan from Czech Republic saying hi.
Ah.
Hello there. I'm writing you mail from far Czech Republic and saying hello to everybody who's on this week's episode in
Hi.
case this will be read on the show.
Hi.
Hey. First of all, let me say this. I am not a native English speaker, so I may do a lot of mistakes, and I am very sorry about that.
Don't even
worry
trip.
about it.
So good so far.
I found this amazing podcast a few weeks ago, even though I knew about the Dex series for a long time. I was really happy because I could listen to it and work, and it always makes my day better. It feels great to listen to the people passionately talking about something you also love. At this moment, I'm saving money for Nintendo Switch because I believe we will get some amazing dope games on this console. Whether it will be Kanto remake, a Lola sequel, or something totally new, I am definitely looking forward to this year's E3 and hope we get some great announcements. Me too. Before I finish this email, I have one question. Am I the only one who really wants to return to Kalos one day? I mean, updated Kalos with a new fresh Sun and Moon look, with maybe new towns or roads accessible. I really enjoyed that region, and mostly because it felt so close to me being European.
right.
Anyway, thank you so much for reading, whether it was done on the show or not. You got it.
Got
and I'm
it.
sending you some pictures of my hometown, Prague. I think it has some amazing places. It does, and I've always wanted to go to Prague, and I will
I
go
have a
there.
friend who's from Prague.
Yeah. Czech Republic would make a nice region. Believe me, really, really small, but beautiful. I agree. It looks like Kalos in real life. Like, honestly.
Relos.
Relos.
It's bad.
That's all. Thank you so much again. And bye. Hashtag not sorry for the long email. Wasn't a long email. Hashtag back to the Kalos. Hashtag Zygarde is bro. Hashtag you guys are awesome. Hashtag keep doing what you do. These photographs are like, I don't know if you took them or what, but they're like travel photo work. Like they're amazing. They're really beautiful. This city looks incredible and I want to go and I've always wanted to go and I will go and I will drink beer in that city and I will throw up in the gutters.
Oh, no.
Europe.
Don't do that, please. Come on.
Guys,
Respect the city.
we got a couple more emails for you.
Thank you for the email.
Yeah,
Thank you for that
Thank
email.
you for the email and the kind words.
I hope I pronounced your name right. I hope I did. Here we go. Another one. Oh, that's a really long guy. I'm going to skip that one.
Uh-oh.
See, it happens.
The
Got
rare,
one.
the
It
mythic,
happens.
the shiny encounter,
That person
an
is
actual
sorry
long
for the long
email.
email.
Yeah. All right. I got to get another one. All right. Here's one from Mitch, aka Sergeant Marine.
Hey!
DLC
Hello.
or third title.
He's a frequent writer inner.
He always gets picked. It's crazy. Greetings and salutations, Alex Pokekills, Jimmy, and Hilda, who is Davis today. Mitch, Sergeant Marine here, and I've had a productive Poke week of breeding and hatching. Also, I am also finishing the post game, and I'm trying to nature the Pokemon in the second mission. I keep coming up to the empty lots in various towns, and it always makes me wonder, will there be DLC to add gyms, or will we see these locations completed in a third title? So I pose a question to you in the community. Are we ready for DLC? Would you pay for DLC? Would you want an announcement for a third title? Would you want a Fire Red Leaf Green remake / sequel? Hashtag later, man. Hashtag sorry for the long questions. Fair winds and following seas. Mitch, a.k.a. Sergeant Marine.
Thank you, Mitch.
Are
Davis
we ready
got
for
excited
DLC?
when we Davis got really excited when we said Fire Red high res.
Anything
Well, I never
sequel
played Fire Red,
remake.
but I'm just like, I'm like a Gen 1er, basically a Gen 1 and 2er. So,
Anything closer, the closer you get to the original Game Boy, the more Davis likes it.
I mean, just
That's
pretty
true.
1 and 2 are the most perfect, like,
They're
combo of
so
games ever.
Yeah. I
But
feel
that
you.
would be cool.
Are we ready for DLC? If they added a gym system to the game for like $5, would I pay for it? Yeah,
I would.
I would.
$5.
That's content. That's real
Probably.
content.
DLC, I would love DLC for that kind of, that would be perfect.
Would you
I
pay
wanna
for
know-
DLC? I would, depending on the price. I mean,
Depending on the price, depending on the content. If it was like an expansion pack where it adds this gym system or like 12 new Ultra Beasts on a different mission chain
Yeah.
or
What?
something.
That'd
I would
cool.
pay for that. That's more game.
Yeah.
Here's the
not
question,
new-
like,
maybe not new Pokemon because that
the
would
difference is,
That's
divide
crazy.
the
Yeah.
community.
the differences you get in the third version of each game, like, and I've only played Yellow and Crystal of the like third versions.
Mm-hmm.
Those seem like less than or equal to a DLC's amount of difference that you had to pay full price for. So
That's true.
I think a DLC
Well,
would
but
be
you also
great,
get
but
the
there is
game.
something like there's also a whole different thing about DLC is like cool, but a new game is like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
You know,
okay.
you know what's cool? $1 billion.
So, like preference, just word of like right now DLC, but I would love either.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel too. Like I'm super on the fence. Do I want a Fire Red Leaf Green remake? Sure. I would play it. Do I need a sequel to Fire Red Leaf Green where Lily is the main character? That's what I want.
So that's what I was wondering if that was a hint towards the future where she's like, I'm gonna go
Go to Kanto.
Go Kanto. You're like, is this?
What
are
if they
we-
just remake the Kanto adventure in like with Lily as the female character in like
Davis, do you know about the end of
It
the
would be
XY
dope.
anime?
1080p HD?
No.
Serena, the girl, she goes off to Hoenn, and there are rumors that there's going to be a series of her in Hoenn.
Like an anime?
And yeah. But
Great.
like, so I'm hoping like that's the thing that they're starting to do is like maybe follow some other characters around and make them stars of games. And
I mean,
That would be
things.
awesome.
As we've discussed
Serena
several
was
times,
so cool.
I would be so interested in anything without Ash in it.
We're allowed to say that here.
Oh
Yeah, we're allowed to say that here.
He's like,
I like
The
really.
worst.
I disliked him as a kid, and I disliked him. I like went through recently as I was completing my Yellow Pokedex for fun on the Game Boy. Watched like the first 170 episodes of the anime.
yeah, just a few.
Which, by the
Did
way,
you get through-
if you really want to get into Pokemon, play a game while the anime's in the background and just be like, yeah.
How far did that get you? In like what region was he in? What did he do? Were you in
They were
Hoenn?
they were in Gen 2 stuff.
They were in Gen 2.
I
I know there's so many episodes in those.
would watch like 10 at a time and be like, what did he even do? Like, if you like lose track of all of the things, because a lot of them are just like nonsense.
Yeah.
It's something that is like much better in the newer parts of the anime now.
But have you watched Pokemon Origins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pokemon Origins is the Pokemon show that I have always wanted.
Yeah, it's so good.
so cool. They don't say their names. Everything is just like right. And then what were the stuff they added with the little like 3-minute videos?
Oh,
they put up?
Generations.
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 Also
Really
perfect. I would love. I don't know, Serena. Is she
Pokemon.
anime exclusive?
Yeah,
No.
she's
No.
like the character for X and Y. Like she's like the
She's
girl
the female
character,
sprite for X
like,
and Y.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She's like your main rival. You have like all the 5 like kids, and
The
she's
buddies.
like the one who
Oh,
stands out
okay.
as an
Like
adult.
Tierno and stuff are like the group that all call
Yeah,
you like.
if you choose the girl character,
D-Man.
it's you. If you choose the boy character, it's
like
the rival.
they're like written for like children, but it was really cool to have like a posse.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
have
yeah.
more than one character.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And And then in the new one, having like a friend was like really cool.
Yeah.
Your best friend, no less.
Yeah.
Lily was.
I love Lily. She makes me
she was
cry.
great.
The
I've been
Omega. Who was
researching
your
her.
buddy in Gen 3 though?
It was just the opposite person.
It was the sick boy.
That was a real.
Yeah, and there's
there's
Wally.
Wally and that whole
and
like
the opposite person.
that whole story was like
Ethan or May.
and like tear bringing. Like I don't know. I thought
Wally's
I
a great character.
Freaking love Wally's theme. It's so good.
Yeah, Wally's theme is jazzy.
But yeah, I'm
fought him
glad that
in-
we're all
in
on board of like
Battletree.
get Ash out of here.
I think
I'd
that
watch
he's
a
still
Brock
allowed to be
anime.
around, but like I would
No.
love to explore other
I just
avenues
want.
too.
I want.
not.
I'm not gonna like deny him like that. He's like an iconic character. I just
will.
don't need to know more. It's like unrealistic how much he's done.
And
at
like
this point.
honestly, they would never get rid of Ash simply because of also Pikachu.
yeah.
Like
It's true.
You can't have that
Follow
Pikachu without
Pikachu
Ash.
around.
And
They just
Don't
like
need Ash.
Follow Piplup around for a little bit. He's cool.
they rely too much on those
What about
two
Bradley?
and also Team Rocket. That
but
as
Team
an
Rocket
adult,
are fantastic.
Team
as an
Rocket.
adult, when you watch it, you're just like
Team
This
Rocket was
episode was
gone.
about to go someplace fun, and then now we're like in this Team Rocket
Team
thing.
Rocket actually left for a really long time.
that I can't
when they
never
were
agree
when they
with
were
you
doing like
on.
the Elite Four and stuff, those episodes were great because they were like not really.
You should watch the Pokemon
point of
League
it.
in X, Y, and Z.
Is that cool?
Yeah,
It's really, really
it's
cool.
so tight. It's so tight.
Where do you watch? Because I just had Netflix had some of it. I had
Yeah.
to watch
Netflix
some of
has
it
a
on
lot,
the
if I recall.
website, some of it on.
Yeah.
I think Hulu has quite a few seasons
Yeah,
as well.
Hulu has a lot of it. Netflix has a lot of it. But Netflix stops like halfway through the X and Y season, and
There
so,
might be a
and
place
I
that
watched
you
a lot
can
of mine
get
on
it.
YouTube.
I'm
Yeah.
down if people let me know what like runs I should watch, like what episodes to really watch. There's now too many to like.
If you start at XY, the
XY
original,
is okay. X, Y, and Z is like really good, and I really enjoyed it. And then Sun and Moon is like crazy, but it's really fun.
it's delightful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't listen to anybody who tells you that the Sun and Moon anime looks worse. It looks better.
it
Yeah,
does.
It's really
the
neat.
first time they've
Did they change-
animated,
they
They changed
up
the animation style.
and it's really good.
It's like funnier. It's really fun. Like
got a lot
Ash
of
will
like
scream
squash
in
and
his
stretch
like.
stuff in it. And
Oh, they'll do like. I mean, they did that. They
They
did
got
that
some
too
like
in the,
real crazy.
It's goofy.
They get
It's-
real goofy. And
it's
funny.
expressive.
Okay.
There's like those really quirky animes that like really don't care that much about like the shape of the characters when they like
Fooly
do
Cooly
motions.
and
Yeah.
other wacky
Yeah,
things
it's like that. It's really great.
Not like that wacky, but yes.
yeah, it's in
But
that.
just that
It's-
there's no.
it's like-
they can play with it.
it's like
it's
the
like when
corporate
Wind Waker
version of
came
that.
out.
Yeah,
It's like the Wind Waker thing. Like
People
oh,
were like,
Wind
"Why
Waker's
does he look
graphics
like
are terrible."
this?
Like,
you got to
no,
see it
they're
in motion,
interesting.
dude. You got to see it in motion.
It's perfect.
All right,
Yeah.
one more email.
Anyway, what did we even say anything to that email? I feel bad. We just
What do you mean?
I'll just stop asking
Did we answer that
questions.
email?
Yeah, we talked about the DLC.
That
we,
is that's like a meme face or something.
Yeah,
like,
I have that saved on my computer.
we talked about the DLC. We talked about everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. I'm losing a lot of track. Is all.
Don't even trip. Don't
I'm not.
even trip.
I'm not.
All right. We got one more email.
Last email.
I don't have a name that's not your real name here, so I'm just going to say L is your name. It's called Post Game Shenanigans Winky Face. Hello, DexCast members, Alex, Kells, Jimmy, and of course, Pup Boy Wallace, a.k.a. Davis. I was listening to an episode 127 while heading home. Excuse me. And when you got to discussing the post games of X and Y, Sun and Moon, and Oros, the pieces to a puzzle I didn't know existed arranged themselves in my mind.
Oh,
Could the post games of the aforementioned games be one continuous side story? As I'm sure you know, at the end of X and Y's post game, Looker leaves his detective agency on a mission for the International Police. And in Sun and Moon, you interact with him solely in regards to such a mission. So there's a thread there. As to how he ended up in the battle resort with no memories in Oros, a thing to consider is that Annabelle, Battle Tower Frontier Brain from Emerald, exists in Sun and Moon as well, and she is shown to have arrived there through an ultra wormhole which affected her memories in some way. Could Looker in Oros have arrived there through an ultra wormhole? It would explain his lack of memories and be thematically consistent with the Delta episode multiple dimension plot. Just something to consider. Thanks for tons of Poketainment throughout both the Dex show and podcast. Hashtag you guys the best.
Hey,
it's certainly possible.
you want me to do a thing where I blow your stinking mind? right
Hell
now?
yeah.
What if I told you that everything you just said is in a video I helped research and write on for Jaywitz called What's Up with Looker that came out 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
Hey,
Also see the Looker episode
of the Dex.
of the Dex.
which
Covers
only has
even-
less information because it came out before Sun and
Yeah.
Moon.
It fleshes out Looker.
but I still think like for sure, like how
Yeah.
it connects Looker through every single generation. He's in pretty much every game.
The story
like,
of Looker's life.
I never
is-
noticed him until I watched that video. He's like
Yeah.
a cool, and then especially in this new one, he's a cool character.
He's so good.
And
He's
the-
really cool.
The cool thing with that, by the way, I completely agree with you, and yet, like, bravo catching that and everything. The whole thing that Looker and Annabelle both wash up on the beach with their memories gone. Like, it's not similar, it's the same thing.
Yeah, so there's got to be something to that.
And one of the idea that we had with that, me and Jaywitz, was that, like, it's possible that Looker and Annabelle both, when coming out of the tunnel, switched places with somebody.
Oh,
Because-
like alternate versions of themselves.
Like, potentially, Looker shows up at the end of Oros, and that's when Annabelle goes in.
Oh,
Annabelle, literally the Annabelle that we see is the Annabelle from the other universe. Yeah.
yeah, the one that's what's it called? Battle Tower Captain.
The Frontier Brain.
Frontier Brain. That's it. That's what it is.
Because the whole deal is like,
That's pretty good career trajectory for her, like falling through a portal, like losing everything and then becoming like the boss of an international investigation.
yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty crazy.
It's weird because Looker finds her and he's in Interpol, and then she joins and then outranks him by the time it's Sun and Moon.
Maybe
just
the
a
other
boss.
Annabelle. Maybe the other Annabelle also works for the international police.
Ooh, and it's like Orphan Black situation.
I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, but it's all food for thought.
Can we talk about how Nanu is
Also
used to be Looker's superior?
Nanu's
That guy's great.
Nanu's
you know
just
about
like-
Nanu?
No.
Nanu
Guy
is
from
the
Potown?
is the depressed Potown man, the cop.
dark type-
The
the
police
dark type.
officer from Potown?
the dark type.
You fight it. Isn't
From
he?
Sun and Moon.
yeah.
He has the Litten.
He has like
Or,
gray hair.
No, what does he have? Persian.
You see the guy that just is always like,
Yeah.
Hands in
He's like
pockets.
Clint
He's
super
in the
Eastwood.
side
slouchy.
quest. He's in the
yeah,
in the
he
Ultimate
just
side
doesn't
quest.
like seem like a cool. He was like kind of mean.
He's kind of like a
cool guy.
deadbeat. Yeah.
But he used to work in the international police with Looker. They both like his name is the same as Looker's. Looker's was 100 KR or something like that.
Yeah.
And that makes Looker, and Nanu's was 000, and then Nanu is like none.
Yeah. That was their like code
What?
names.
Why did he burn out?
Just because
He's like
he's like
deadbeat
an
guy.
ex spook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like an ex G man.
Like one of James Bond's old associates.
Probably
or
got
something.
super jaded.
This is just him like, I'm gonna try and retire, but like I'm still.
He just
Yeah, and
knows
then he's
too
like,
much.
but
He
dang,
knows too
there's
much.
Potown.
He's like existential. He's like post existential crisis.
Is it like his hair is grayed from just like the
Who
stress
knows?
and weight
Yeah.
of
He's seen too much death. He's learned too many secrets about the world. That's him. That's Nanu.
bummer, but like beautiful.
True.
Sun and Moon is so good.
Yeah.
It is
so good.
But
It
anyway,
is.
guys, if you have anything that you want to add to this theory or to anything that you've heard today, or you want to chime in on Pokemon Go and the future of Pokemon Go, please let us know. Send your emails in to thedexcast@gmail.com. Again, that's THEDEXCAST@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, guys. As always, if you own a multi-million-dollar brand and you love the Dex podcast and you want to help us support ourselves, we'll read a commercial for you. So let us know.
I like food things. I like beer.
Yeah.
If you want to send us some beer.
Food, beer, video games.
I like Magneton. I'm not a regular, obviously.
Yeah.
Unless if this is your
If you
first
want us
time.
to promote Magneton.
But Magneton's the best.
If we double our
Magnezone
numbers.
is a travesty. It's the worst Pokemon. I'm pretty upset about it. We'll offline this. Anyone that wants to talk about it.
Find him in his DMs.
don't at me.
At Team Davis. Anywhere else you want people to go, Davis?
I mean, check out the Warp Zone. We just do silly like sketches and some music stuff.
They do
Also
like
check
acapella
out.
music videos. They're great.
Huh?
Do you like acapella?
Yeah, we do like
music
acapellas
videos?
where we just dress up as characters. I'm
Davis
usually, like,
always
Man,
dresses
Davis's
up as a woman.
costumes are always
we just did
just
Attack on
spot
Titan.
on.
I got painted. It was pretty
Oh,
fun.
so good. It looks so great.
Yeah, check out Snack
Unbelievable.
Pack.
The Snack Pack Snack
Star
Pack.
Wars New Canon Book Club. Scare Game Squad.
Yeah.
And maybe a Street Corner. I might just be
Hanging out,
Hanging
playing
out,
But
Pokemon
not by
Go.
himself.
Playing Pokemon Go.
Hanging
changing
out at
Magneton.
3 a.m., 10
merch.
Bloody Marys deep. Chilling
Bloody
out.
Marys.
Dude, such a bad decision that went so well for me.
I'm glad you had a great time. 10 Bloody Marys is always a bad.
No, I didn't actually drink 10 Bloody Marys. I just drank a lot of Bloody
I
Marys.
thought you
I
drank
could-
one
I could
because
do
it comes
10.
with food on it. I thought you were like one and done with Bloody Marys. You're supposed to do multiple.
I could do 3 or 4 Bloody Marys.
I mean, it wasn't like a heavy Bloody Mary. It was like, some light, like tomato juice.
I was
that
listening
got
to a
from the store.
podcast. I was listening to a podcast where somebody made a Bloody Mary for post hangover with Pedialyte in it.
That's probably like great for you though.
Well, but if you think about it, Pedialyte's
No,
like
I'm not going to think about it.
Well, because
No.
Pedialyte's salty.
No.
And you
No.
know, you could get like tomatoes in there. I see it. I see how it works. Anyway, if you have anything to say about anything we've been talking about today, just don't write us about the Pedialyte Bloody Mary. Check it out on on the stew. If you like that podcast, go check it out. It's a food podcast. Thank you for listening. I'm Alex.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Pokekells.
This has been our buddy Team Davis.
Yeah.
He tried to.
I was gonna
He was
say.
gonna
he
say
thought you
his
were
own
listening.
You know what?
name.
Let's do it again. I'm Alex.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Pokekells.
I'm Davis.
Yes.
And well, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
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 Waiter man.